What's going on, everybody? Nazdarachi coming back at you again today with another episode of Relic Review for Final Fantasy Record Keeper. Today we have the More the Merrier Final Fantasy VI event, as well as the beginning of the festivities for the festival. So to kick off the video here, let's play my draw from yesterday on the always lucky Medica or White Mage banner here. Go ahead and check this out. I didn't have a good gut feeling going into this because there were a lot of dupes for me on this banner. But for 25 Mithril, I can always use a new healer, so I decided to just wing it, and it actually turned out pretty good. I definitely have to level at least one new character. I have the option of going with two now, because we got some reasonably good BSBs out of this one here. Also, it kind of made me want to pull on the Final Fantasy Tactics banner that just passed. So we got Larsa's BSB and Ovelia's BSB. I also have a Super Soul Break for Ovelia, which is why I kind of wanted to pull on the Tactics banner for her USB. I did decide against it because, I don't know, there's too much stuff that I wanted to spend here on these upcoming banners as well as on Final Fantasy VI. I do potentially want to make one or two pulls on this More the Merrier banner 1. I love Shadow. I already have him pretty well developed with his BSB. And Setzer, with his USB that's out now, is probably the now best supporting offensive breakdowns character in the game. He has access to that pseudo EX mode that'll just be stacking breakdowns on top of breakdowns, an LMR that feeds into that, and his BSB is just great as well. So let's go ahead and check out that banner. Now that we've checked out that draw, started out a little different this time. And we also do have the Always Lucky Round 2 that'll be on this video as well, so I will be checking that out. But let's hit the Final Fantasy VI event first here. The first item is going to be Shadow's USB, an item I would love to have, Katana the Kaganui. Small chance to stop, always in effect, which pretty much is, I don't know, it's good utility. Unfortunately, it's not plus dark damage. That would actually benefit him the most. But for trash mobs and enemies that are weak to stop, this could come in handy right here. 175 attack and 94 magic for the ninja in him. And because it's a katana, these stats would actually benefit Sephiroth fairly well also. Abandoned Past USB. Instantly deal 10 physical dark non-elemental attacks to random targets. Temporarily cause the user's dark attacks to reduce the delay of the user's next action. If the user has Mirror Image, ninja abilities will also trigger Vanishing Blade, dealing 2 physical dark non-elemental attacks to one target. The number of attacks depends on the number of Mirror Image stacks on the user. So this is basically the dark version of Edge's USB. Shadow does have access to Life Siphon, so he will be able to manage his Soul Break gauge a little bit better than Edge will. I personally like this one a little bit better, although Edge is definitely the better choice for water situations. And I love how this is Clyde right here. Shadow is Clyde, that was his abandoned past, so to speak. And Realm is actually his daughter as well. So there's a little trivia for you there. Great relic, I would love to have it. And I would also love to have the next USB as well, which is why my luck on this banner hopefully is super good. But, you know, I'm not expecting anything amazing. You have the final trump for Setzer here, thrown weapon with 159 attack, no bonus effects unfortunately, but Setzer doesn't really benefit from any type of plus element damage, so it would have to be something like what's on Shadow's USB for him to really get use out of it anyway. You've got the USB Joker's Wild, deal ranged physical damage to 10 random targets, temporarily lower their attack, magic, defense, resistance, and mind a moderate amount, so it's a moderate penta break, that's really, really good. And trigger Gambling Break. When a support ability deals damage, Gambling Break deals 2 physical attacks to one target, and it'll randomly lower its attack, magic, defense, or resistance a large amount. Reduces the delay of the user's actions for 1 turn. This will combo just ridiculously well with his mostly Mega Flare BSB. You will have breakdowns flying out all over the place, because the BSB features dual breakdowns on entry and both the commands. They're both support, so they'll proc this Gambling Breaks, kind of another pseudo EX mode here, and your breakdowns are just going to be off the chain. Not super useful for Magicite, but outside of that, again, Setzer is the best offensive breakdowns character in the game, right up there with Vaughn at this point. It's an amazing combination of effects, and I honestly would love to see that. So next up here, we do have a BSB for the new character, Umaro, the Yeti. You have a hammer, although it's an axe, and it's called a club. So that's an interesting confusion going on there. 141 attack, no bonus effects, and you have the Burst Soul Break Master's Voice. 7 physical ice non-elemental attacks to all targets, temporarily infuse the user with the power of ice, and grant haste burst mode to the user. Pretty standard entry effect right there. You do have the non-elemental on there, so it'll be useful a little bit outside of ice situations as well. Now the burst abilities here are quite interesting. This first one especially makes Umaro a great Magicite support character, because he can do off heals, and as well he gives basically power chain to any ally he casts this on. You'll have the delay reduction and a moderate heal to one ally proportional to their max. Again, great for Magicite dungeons because he'll be throwing out delay reduction all over the place here. It's actually incorporated into a lot of sub 30-second team builds here, so even though I'm not too fond of this character, this is a good BSB for specific reasons, mostly Magicite. You get a bargain on command 2, the Frozen Mist, 3 physical, ice, and non-elemental attacks to one target, and lower resistance for attack buff. Pretty interesting. You got the 3 attacks on there. It's a bargain. It'll definitely help out Umaro, but the first burst command here is kind of where it's at. That's a really good effect. And it's interesting they made Umaro a monk, because in Final Fantasy VI he was just a Yeti, and he was completely uncontrollable whenever you brought him to battle. So I don't really know where they pulled that from, but I will take that first burst command there. That's pretty interesting. Next up, BSB Koga Blade for Shadow here. Katana again, even though it looks more like a knife. I don't know. I already have this one, so it would be a dupe for me. Hopefully I can avoid it. You have 132 attack, 71 magic, no bonus effects, so good ninja stats there. And this is quite an old BSB, but it is fairly good. It's amazing for comboing with his USB. You got the Shuriken Storm, 7 instant ranged physical dark non-elemental attacks to all targets, infuse the user with the power of dark, and grant haste burst mode to the user. So you have the end dark on entry and some instant attacks that'll make for good timing following up after his USB. Burst abilities marked for death, 4 physical dark non-elemental attacks to one target, reduced delay before hitting, and Dance with Death is the 2 AoE with the reduced delay as well. So kind of an old BSB, so it has more generic commands that we saw like kind of on Zack's BSB entry, for example, and commands are basically identical there as well, but dark instead of wind. And you do have the ninja on the commands here, which is another reason why this will stack great with his USB and that pseudo EX mode, but you're gonna have to find a source of that mirror image, so you'll probably have to use some new ninja abilities or just something to strategize that for your maximum damage output there. Great BSB, again, I already have it, so hopefully I can dodge that one, but I would love to see this one right here. I have 2 super soul breaks for Setzer already, and this one is kind of one of his mainstays here. You have the Death Strike Darts, 120 attack with a small chance to instantly KO, always in effect. Again, that's pretty reasonable for Setzer because he doesn't need elemental buffs. Really only good for trash mobs though. The bosses are going to resist this for the most part. You have the BSB, mostly Mega Flare, 7 ranged physical attacks to random targets, temporarily lower their attack and magic a large amount, and haste burst mode to the user. Small chance for this to double up to 14 attacks on entry. Great entry effects right there. You have the double break large amount, will stack with the moderate penta break on his USB. It'll stack with the pseudo EX mode large breaks, so he's gonna have large breaks all over the place here. You have the card trick, which is attack and defense small break, and magic mystique, which is magic resistance a small break. They all constitute support class here, so you will get that pseudo EX mode, the gambling, whatever it was called. That means that, again, Setzer is just an amazing supporting offensive breakdowns character. I really would love to see that BSB. Next up here, Legend Materia for Shadow, Black Hood. It's a hat, so the stats favor resistance. Anyone can wear it though. You have the no bonus effects and Cloak of Darkness. Begin battle temporarily infused with the power of dark. It's an interesting LMR effect for Shadow. It kind of is skippable because you do get the end dark on his BSP entry. However, this will up his damage quite a bit for the specific strategy of casting the USB first into his BSB. So if you have this LMR, he will start End Dark. If you have Dr. Mog's teachings on him, you can Life Siphon a few times, get your 2 bars, lead with the USB into the BSB, and this will contribute nicely to that. So for that strategy, this is pretty good. Outside of that, if you don't have his USB and you already have the BSB, you know, you may not need this quite as much. I'd prefer Setzer's LMR if I could choose between the two. You have the long coat for Setzer here. Typical light armor, 116 defense resistance, and 17 attack. No bonus effects, and we have the second chance, Legend Materia. Increase the duration of stat debuffs generated by the user and their related effects. We've seen this one before. It's pretty typical for support characters that do breakdowns, and it will definitely help out with Setzer's capabilities to maintain his top spot right there with Vaughn as the best breakdowns characters in the game. So I would love to see that one there. Next up here we have the Green Cherry Super Soul Break for Umaro, the Snow Scarf, light armor, actually identical stats to Setzer's LMR, minor fire resistance, which could be useful in the Magicite dungeons there and other fire-based situations. You have the Super Soul Break Green Cherry. For 3 turns, you lower the user's defense a large amount, raise the user's attack a massive amount, and enter Green Cherry mode, which basically makes him uncontrollable. This is the little nod to the actual Final Fantasy VI game they gave him here. While in Green Cherry mode, the user automatically uses Attack, Ice Storm, Slam, or Take Aim. You have no control over which, and that will last as long as the Green Cherry mode lasts, with the massive attack buff. So it is interesting for a Super Soul Break. If I was building Umaro, or if I also got his BSB, I honestly probably wouldn't mind having this. I do like it for the unique effect on it, but it's not really that useful. Doubly so because you can't control what he does. So he's probably just going to end up using the attack command a lot, which may or may not really help out your situation. Next up here, Super Soul Break Shadow Fang for Shadow. It's the Ichigeki Dagger, 114 attack, 71 magic. Again, small chance to instantly KO, kind of like Setzer's BSB. Shadow would make better use of plus dark damage in this situation, but for trash mobs, this could be somewhat useful here. Shadow Fang, 8 instant physical attacks to 1 target and enable the user to evade 2 physical attacks. Pretty cool for the dual blink right there. You might be able to stack this. I don't know if it actually counts as mirror image, but it should. I know it's physical blink. So with that being said, hopefully this stacks with his USB, but competing for the gauge to use it might be an issue. So he probably won't use this at all in favor for his USB and BSB, but it is a potential source of blink there, so it might be useful in certain situations. Maintaining those blinks and then rebuilding the Soul Break to cast the USB, though, I don't know, that could be kind of challenging. Death Tarot for Setzer here, thrown weapon, 117 attack, no bonus effects. Super Soul Break red card, 7 ranged physical attacks to random targets, and full break them a large amount. So this as well will stack with all of his other breakdowns that he's got going on. Everything except for the actual ability full break. You wouldn't want to use that because that would overwrite this. And this as well has a small chance to double up to 14 attacks. I do have this one as well. Pretty good. Would be a dupe though for me, so I would like to avoid it because I already have a bunch of that one. And we have Fixed Dice here, another Super Soul Break that I already have for Setzer. We have Thrown Weapon with only 113 attack, and the Fixed Dice Super Soul Break, deal fixed damage up to 6 random targets and lower their attack and resistance a large amount. Another stackable break, but the damage on it has never been good for me. Again, it says it's fixed, so it doesn't even worry about resistances or anything like that. It's just never really that good. So probably will never use this one in favor of all of his other breaks. The USB and BSB, way better than using Gauge on either one of his Super Soul Breaks. But the red card is definitely the better Super Soul Break out of the two here on this banner, by far. That is everything, so let's hit our 100 gem draw right here and see what happens. We've got a lot of draws to make. We've got this 100 gem draw, we have the half off draw for the stage 2, And then I kind of want to make 2 pulls, at least 1, maybe 2 pulls on this banner. I don't anticipate having amazing luck, but you never know. We're leading with a 3-star here, so not a good sign. But alright, let's do 1 draw here. Let's top up on some gems and see what kind of damage we can do here. Alright, so let's wing it and see what happens here. Cross our fingers. We got 2 USBs and Setzer BSB at the very least. That's what we want to see. Both USBs and Setzer BSB. It's never gonna happen. There's no way. There's no way. It's gonna be 111 tomorrow SSB. Oh, well, I lied. It's at least a 3 out of 11. Mostly Mega Flare and LMRs. Mostly Mega Flare and LMRs. Come on, baby. Come on. You know you want to help me out, Dr. Mog. Alright, we got Green Cherry. At least that's the top end SSB. So, we got 2 of them. Not good. But we did get Setzer's LMR. So that is pretty good right there. That is pretty good. Trolled by 2 Green Cherries. Not very bueno. Not very bueno. But I will make good use of the Setzer's long coat. I need a BSB or USB for him though. Really. Like, really I do. Alright, 1 more go at it. Let's see what happens here. Let's see what happens. Oh, Lord. What? If that's Setzer BSB, I still might not be too upset. But I really need his USB. Another Green Cherry? What is going on, Dina? DNA? Come on, man. That's ridiculous. That's really ridiculous. Holy crap, dude. No more Green Cherries. Come on, Setzer. Come on, USBs. Come on, Dr. Mog. Let's see some magic happen here. Please. Please. Oh my gosh. Another 1 out of 11? So rough, dude. And a dupe. So unfortunately, we're not getting anything we need off the top end banner here. 2 111s with Green Cherry dupes and a red card dupe. Only thing good I came out with here was Setzer's LMR, which again, quite sad indeed. And I did 1 more draw on this banner than what I wanted to. So anyway, let's proceed to this always lucky here and see if we are indeed always lucky. Oh boy. Alright, here we go. Come on, Dr. Mog. You just kicked me in the nuts. Let's pick me back up here. Oh my gosh, dude. Really? What the fuck, man? I didn't even see what the Cortana, Minfilia's BSB. Great. That's so wild, dude. Well, I got screwed. I really got screwed. Look at all this good stuff that's on here. I still don't have a chain soul break. Oh my god, man. It is what it is. RNG. I hope you guys had amazing luck if you pulled on any one of these banners. There's still 1 left. This was probably the best one right here that kicked me right in the nuts. Probably not going to be pulling on many of the actual festival banners at all. Just they're too random and all over the place. And like we saw here, my luck is just not so good all the time. So it's not really going to be worth it for me. We do have a Mithril Treasure Dungeon, so I'll probably come back and reinvest that straight into this Final Fantasy VI banner here. The second Final Fantasy VI banner is not going to be quite as good. Mostly cyan stuff and kind of less stuff I'm less interested in. But with that being said, I hope you guys did have amazing luck on any of your pulls. Way, way better than mine, my garbage pulls here. And I will catch you guys in the next video. If you did enjoy the content, leave a thumbs up. And I'll see you again soon for some more of the festival fun. And hopefully, if you're new here, leave a sub and hit the bell. You'll be notified every time I put something up here. And have a good day, y'all. Again, peace out.